Shanaz Mansour, thank you very much for joining me. Please tell me a little bit about Sherpa. I'm told it's an NGO fighting against economic crimes in France and maybe beyond France. Could you tell me a little bit more?
Yes, of course. Well, thank you very much for having me. SHERPA was indeed founded in 2001 and has set its mission to protect and defend victims of economic crimes, drawing on the power of the law to fight against the new forms of impunity linked to globalization. So basically, our vision is to help build a world where law is at the service of more mindful globalization. Because yes, indeed, economic criminality covers two main forms of materializing in two programs at Sherpa. We have the first program that is called Globalization and Human Rights, and another one focusing on illicit financial flows. So corruption indeed is included in this second program that is mainly focusing on basically money laundering and financial crimes. And we also have other activities targeting involvement of French companies or French owned companies in crime against humanity, forced labor, or any kind of violation of human rights. So basically, this is our action. This is what we do. We fight with the law in order to make French companies accountable for their wrongdoings all over the world.
And you are under French law a recognized, registered organization. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Not only are we registered and properly recognized organization, but we also have an authorization that is provided by the French Ministry of Justice to file complaints in corruption cases. So we are also recognized as being useful for the fight against corruption in the French legal system.
Thank you for that introduction. So to come to this matter of Narendra Modi's deal to buy the French Rafale combat aircraft from Dassault for the Indian Air Force, your suspicions were aroused, it seems, in 2018, and you took the matter to the French National Financial Prosecutor in 2018 and 2019, but you weren't successful. And the anti-corruption agency in France also did not take up the matter. Why did these happen?
Well, we before the revelation of the media bat, we had no idea why our complaint was not successful, and it was also very questionable since we did not just file a complaint in 2018, but we also made some additional we sent some additional informations to both the public prosecutor, the financial public prosecutor, and the anti-corruption agency in France. So actually, why this case, however, we brought up so many elements, was not investigated. We had no idea before we heard from the revelation of Mediapart. We knew because as an NGO that is very active in corruption, we knew that this was a sensitive case and that was probably going to face some political obstacles. But seeing this so clearly is actually very telling about the flaws in our anti-corruption laws and mechanism in France.
So you've brought a case now before the Judicial Court of Paris. you've lodged a criminal complaint. What makes you confident that you're going to succeed this time?
Well, because we believe that this is a very strong case, that already the revelation that we made in 2018 were substantial, but now the case is even more important with the recent revelations of Mediapart. We also believe that it led to a great deal of scandal in India, and I think that should also be make the French judge very attentive, since it's indeed a very telling of the dimension of the case. So we believe that now that we have, set aside, or at least, the political obstacles are being lessened, we believe that the judicial investigation will be conducted properly.
So you reckon that this is a big breakthrough for you as opposed to the obstacles you were facing earlier?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is also important for us, as we are an authorized NGO fighting corruption, because this is really showing how complicated it is to fight corruption, because fighting corruption means having to interfere with political issues, political problems, sometimes economical issues that have a national dimension. And so we believe that having an independent judge investigating in this matter is clearly a major step forward.
You mentioned the disclosures made by Mediapart. Do you think that these disclosures have provided more evidence, more ammunition to you to fight the case?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, it first it explains some gray areas in our first investigation and case. So the storytelling of the whole case is clearly more clear now, and also they brought up some evidence of transfers that are being very suspicious, made by French company ASSO. So it's clearly an important addition to the case that was already that could already have justified an investigation.
I read the 3 reports published by Mediapart. Now, in the complaint that you have submitted to court, have you provided more evidence than what Mediapart published?
I don't believe, since the articles of Mediapart cover many of the area we had revealed and included in our complaint. What we did provide and what is our added value is mainly the juridical reasoning. This is what was very strong in our case at the first place, and what is even stronger now is that we have shown the legal grounds that should justify an investigation. And so basically we have journalists that bring up the facts, and we brought up the legal reasoning. So this is more of a join force than a revelation Yes, well, that's pretty much it.
Excellent. Well,
Yes.
that's excellent because and that's how it should be. Partnership between investigative journalism and an organization such as yours going to court and applying law, not just to interpret what has been disclosed, but also to take it forward into the judicial sphere. Now, tell me one thing. According to the story that was broken by Le Monde last night, that is the night of the 27th of April, it says that in the charge that you have made, you have described the accused, him, her, or it, as X. Now, who do you suspect X is?
Well, this is a tricky and very complicated question. The reason why we filed the complaint against X is actually very procedural. It's because using this denomination, we leave the door open for the judge to research and identify the potential person or entity involved.
So what you're
Well,
saying that in the French legal system, the onus is on the judge to investigate further and establish who X is. Would that be a correct
absolutely.
analysis?
Absolutely. What we did is pointing pointing facts, bringing some legal reasoning, but clearly designating people, particular people or entities would have lessened the range, well, the focus of investigation of the judge. So this is strictly strategical that we always, um, uh, well, often file complaints against X in order to leave room for the judge to set up liabilities.
Yes, that's clear then, because the system is different in France as opposed to the system in India, for instance. Okay, so you also say in your charges, and quite repeatedly, that Narendra Modi benefited his friend Anil Ambani. And you also say
Mm-hmm.
Modi imposed Ambani on the deal. Now, my question is that does a French court have jurisdiction to prosecute Narendra Modi?
Well, that it depends on the offenses that would be recognized by the judge. And frankly speaking, this is not our final objective because, as I said earlier, our main focus is bringing the liability of French companies because we believe that French companies are should respect the rules when they are playing in France and when they're playing abroad. So the the main objective of our litigation is to have clear rules and sentences pronounced against French company for their wrongdoings all over the world.
So, what you're saying is that your suspicion is that a French company in this case did not play by the rules. Would that be a right assessment?
Yes, pretty much.
Right.
Pretty
So,
much. And we also brought some evidence of the the need to shed some light on on the condition under which the deal was passed.
It seems that in your application, there's also a reference to, and I quote, possible kickbacks to a sulfurous intermediary in India, unquote. So what does that mean?
Well, I believe this is this relates to the recent revelation from Mediapart, and it's also an element adding to the fact it's adding elements to prove that everything around this deal was actually very shady and should be investigated properly.
So in other words, what you're saying is that if Dassault knowingly had a middleman and there was wrongdoing on the part of the middleman or Dassault, then that is a crime under French law.
Well, if this middleman had means to influence in any way the decision of the Indian government, yes, it is. Yes. Basically, everything that is an obstacle to the proper and fair and transparent proceedings of public procurement is suspect and is potentially an offense.
So is this why the French government and Dassault were absolutely insistent that there be no anti-corruption clause in the contract for the Rafale deal with the Indian Ministry of Defense?
I cannot answer this question because I have not spoken to anyone who ever said such thing to me, nor from the French government or ASSO. I would say that this is a logical assessment, but I cannot affirm that.
So it's up to the judge to decide whether this was the case or not.
Absolutely.
And so,
yes.
X, what's your suspicion? Who is X?
Okay, what are my suspicion? I think definitely X is more than one single person, but at this stage I would not. I don't want to interfere with the forthcoming investigation of the judge. We have brought before the judge all the elements showing that the rules have not been respected in this deal, and we are very we do really trust the power of investigation of a French independent judge, and we are really eager to also participate and be maybe solicited for this investigation, but we do not want to interfere with this with the proper the proper functioning of the justice.
So you served your petition on the 22nd of April. What happens now? Will there be hearings, and how fast do you think this matter could progress?
We have no idea. We believe that the maybe we'll hear from the judge in probably the coming months, but for now we have we cannot assume anything about the next step of this complaint. And frankly, as I said, we do trust the judicial system, and we'll just stay very attentive about the investigation, but this is not an information I can give you at this stage.
Normally, how long do these cases take?
Um, well, definitely it can last. It can last for several years. It depends of many elements. Um, so we don't know at this stage how long the investigation, if if the judge investigates, how long it will last. I would say, seeing the case and the elements, probably more than a year, definitely.
Are you certain that the judge will definitely investigate the matter further?
I cannot say for sure. I just can say that I really hope and I really believe that this is a strong case and that all elements have been put forward to open a judicial investigation.
Shanez Mensou, thank you very much indeed.